The Auburn Tigers continue to add to a stat commitment list for the 2025 class, and we take a look at Jalen McLeod on this live edition of the Uptempo Podcast.
You are now listening to the War Report Podcast Network.
What is up tempo gang, Auburn family? I hope everybody's having a good week, man. Blake Lane, Dustin Smith back with you guys, the latest edition of the Uptempo Podcast. And Blake decided he's going to put on his fresh hat for y'all tonight, man. We're looking clean. How's it going, brother?
I finally got it, Dustin. It took 2 weeks. Thanks, Fanatics. Look, I love the hat. I love the hat, but Fanatics sent me a Braves hat, and had to go through the long process of all that, and had said, "Hey, look, I'm not even a Braves fan. I need my Auburn hat." They finally got me right. So, Dustin, before we start this one off tonight, man, I just want to say I think we're in a new era of Auburn football, brother, and I think the sky's the limit for this program, this coaching staff, these kids, these players. Just go check out the Freeze 4 YouTube channel and look how tight knit this group is. These kids are having fun. It feels like a different energy in the building. Just looking at the kids waking up, getting to workouts on time, holding each other accountable, going to class. Like DeMarcus Riddick, like he was like, "Oh man, English, I'm kind of struggling," and Malcolm Simmons was like, "Hey, bro, you got to get it. Like, come on, like we got to get it. We got to get the homework. Just holding each other accountable and just really gelling together and getting the job at hand and making memories, but also understanding the hard work that you got to put into it to turn this program around. And the fans, we all know we're hungry, right? We all know what we want to see, but I think these kids also understand what we want to see, and they want to bring it back. And the two guys that we got that we're going to talk about tonight that just recently committed, they had a little something to say on it about turning Auburn back into a national championship contender. So that's where I'm at, Dustin. Once again, the sky is the limit for this program. It's just electric. There's a feeling. There's a feeling around Auburn right now, and you got guys starting to come out in the national media and talk good about Auburn, and they're saying, "Hey, buy stock, buy stock. It's fun." Like these guys, they're getting players, they're getting dudes. Stay away from Twitter. All right, don't listen to anybody on Twitter. Dustin had a great tweet today about going back and forth about who signs 3 stars and who this, who that. 98% of those people have never watched any of those dudes play. That's it. So go off of what the national media is saying. And if they're finally giving Auburn praise and they're saying good things about Auburn, rock with it, man. Rock with it. I think Auburn's in a great spot right now, Dustin.
Yeah, I watched. Definitely go subscribe to Cam Coleman's channel and go subscribe to the Freeze 4 one. I was watching Cam's dude. He was on that scooter going through, and I'm like, bro, we gotta stop. I don't want any more of that, dude. And listen, we've all been on campus, and I remember the last time I was there, Dylan Carwell came zooming by on the scooter. I'm like 7 feet on a scooter, bro. That's a long fall. That's a long fall, buddy. But when you see Cam Coleman on that thing, it's like, hey, dude, you're like the future of the passing game, bud. Maybe have a hand on each handle and get you. Let's record off the scooter, Cam. Let's record off the scooter, brother. Didn't like that at all.
He got the headband now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no more of that, dude. No more of that. That was definitely frightening. I'm like, hey, no, my 5-star, please don't do that. Let's see. Our guy Daniel says we got Bryce Deas. About to talk about Bryce. Yes, Chris, we are very excited. And I'll use your comment here, Chris, as a transition. What about these O-line we are recruiting? It's unbelievable. And I agree with you, brother, because I did the pod for you members today. It'll be dropping pretty soon for you guys. Broderick Shull, 6'5", 295. He is a 5-star according to On3. No matter what service you looked at, he's highly ranked. He's a high-ranked 4-star. No matter where you look. Bigsby, Oklahoma, commits to Auburn, Blake, last Friday. And I'll just tell you, brother, as I watched this film, I have not seen a tackle or an offensive lineman, period, that is committed to Auburn. I can go back to like 2015. I mean, it's been forever. Yeah. That is this athletic. I mean, it's freakish stuff. There's one play where he's pulling to the left side. He's the right tackle. He's pulling over to the left side. They're running the ball to the left, and the right guard sticks his leg out too far. He gets way out of position, kind of gets knocked off. Broderick's coming. He's pulling. He trips over it, stays on his feet, gets back up, plants the block to spring the running back for the first down. At 6'5", 6'6", 300 pounds, bro, a lot of guys fall right there. There's another one where he gets spun around, completely spun around. And as he's spinning, he finds his balance back, regains his feet, gets his shoulders back set, completely gets his form back. And as he spins, finds his guy, throws him, off his running back goes. And just elite speed, dude. Like, he's so quick. His first step is so fast. And then if he actually does get downfield a little bit, it's a problem. It's a problem because he's running stride for stride with his running back, bro. I mean, he's not getting dusted by the ball carrier, and then he's bringing that physicality. Then he's bringing it because he's strong as hell too. I just have not seen a package, athleticism, strength, IQ, already like really good technique, pass pro technique, really solid. It's just a complete package, Blake. We have not recruited a tackle like this at Auburn in a very long time. This is massive for us, man.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is the strength popped out. The athleticism, which you just mentioned there, popped out. And I'll go a different direction here with what he had to say in his little wrap-up interview, closing interview. He said that the feeling off the field, he loved everything on the field at Auburn, but the feeling off the field, inside of the building, was different. This is a guy where Nebraska, who Rule has been recruiting his tail off out there, they were on him. They were all over him. And he's coming from Oklahoma to Auburn, and Matt Rule usually gets those guys. He said he couldn't turn down what was going on off the field because it's different at Auburn right now. We know what kind of player he is. The tape pops. It pops. We're getting a stud. Yeah. And like Dustin said, we haven't felt this in a long time. The Village Vice, they posted that graphic, and it really put it into perspective of look, we're not going down the Harsin and the Gus thing tonight, but it happened. And they're right. You're not going to win in this league. And now with the addition of Oklahoma and Texas, two powerhouses, it's going to make it even harder. But this staff gets it. And I do remember the Thornton tweets of he might not be the guy. He's working his tail off. He's recruiting at a high level. He's getting it done. Like, I think we're going to be okay because Broderick Shull, now his job becomes, now you got to go get more. All right. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. I know that hurts to say, man. That one hurt, but we're not. Like, now you turn into the recruiter. You go get the quarterback that you want to block for. You go get the athletes. All right. You keep doing what you got to do to bring in the big uglies in the trenches for Auburn to get back to win a national championship. That's what he said. I want Auburn to get back to the feeling of 2010. That's what I want while I'm at Auburn, is I want to get back to that feeling of just being in the big moment, in the big game, just have an opportunity. And we're getting a guy that's going to play. He's going to play at a very high level. He has the potential to be an NFL draft pick. And I think that says a lot for Auburn University right now. We haven't been able to sit down and talk about this. It's been a Percy Lewis, a transfer that we've gotten to talk about. All right, but we haven't gotten to sit here and say, hey, we got this guy, a difference maker. Now, I know that's not a diss to any of the guys that we have in this class, but this one's different. This one's different. So all the momentum is with Auburn right now. Look, you're a top 10 class for 2025, and you're just gonna keep bumping up. It's just gonna continue to climb. So wherever you're at now, 9th, 8th, I think we bumped up to what, 8th today?
Yeah. I've seen 7th, 8th, 9th, just kind of depending on where you look.
Yeah, so we're gonna continue to climb. Top 5 class. I think it's coming to a top 5 class. And look, you're 4th in the SEC right now. I understand that, you get on the Twitter arguments of Alabama being here and all this. Look, we're 4th in the SEC. We're competing. We're on their talent gap. All right. We're on their level. That's all you can ask for. We're in the hunt. We're bringing the blue chips. We're bringing the studs to campus. It's happening. This place is turning around, and it's happening right in front of our eyes. Now we just got to put it on the field, show up on Saturdays, make plays in big-time moments, quit fumbling the bag, man. Show up and make a play. That's what it comes down to this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at a kid from Oklahoma too, Blake, and I'm thinking it's Oklahoma's first year in the SEC. You're letting the best offensive lineman prospect in your state go to another SEC team. I'm just kind of looking at that and taking a note on that for I'm looking at Oklahoma and saying, okay, that's not a good look for y'all. Yeah. And then I also think to myself, okay, we signed DeAndre Carter out of California last year. He was our best offensive lineman prospect.
Yep.
Get him to come all the way from Cali. This year, the highest rate prospects you're signing on the O-line, you're getting him to come all the way from Oklahoma. So you're casting a wide net to find talent and getting those guys to come to Auburn. So you're selling them. We all know we haven't won a lot of games. You really got to be selling them something for them to come all the way. And look, a lot of times you're recruiting mom and dad too, for these parents to trust that it's all right for their kid to go all the way to Auburn, Alabama, that it's all going to work out. That means that they trust the environment. That means that they trust the culture that's being built, and they trust that it's all going to turn around on the football field as well. So this right here, man, it's just big time. And then I see our guy asking about Michael DeBose. It seems like there was smoke on that at one point, and it seems like it's kind of died down. There's a couple other offensive linemen that I think Auburn is much closer to landing than Michael DeBose at this point.
Yeah, if I had to say right now, I think it's LSU for Micah DeBose.
Yeah, definitely seems to be trending that way. But fear not, because Jake Thornton is working, and let's say we know we're going to sign at least one more offensive lineman. Let's say you sign 2 more, and that gets you to 7. Okay. Yep. For one, look at Georgia and Alabama. That's how they've been doing it. They've been getting 6 to 7 guys. The one that the class that Georgia put together last year was so silly. They just stole the top 10 offensive linemen basically, and so the rest of y'all can have whatever you want from this. So think about this. Let's say you get 7 guys. Let's say 3 of them bust and 4 pan out. That seems pretty reasonable to me, and that's something like you would take it. That's how you got to do it. If you only get in the graphic that Blake was referencing, if you're not on social media, Village Vice, which is Brad Law and Zach Blackerby, they posted a clip where they were talking about how Harsin only brought in from high school 3 offensive linemen in his 2 cycles. Okay, well, you need all 3 of them to hit, obviously, and you still can't fill out a line that way. So when you go and you get 6, 7 guys, you give yourself some wiggle room, because some guys are just not going to pan out. And so that's you got to sign 6, 7 guys on both sides of the line of scrimmage, something that Auburn just has not done for a long time. And it's just so refreshing to see it happening this year. And then to see guys like this, who, he's currently a 4-star on 3, but they have him as the 19th overall prospect. So that means that when they come around and do their next cycle of rankings, he will be a 5-star. So just huge, man. But he's not the only commitment, Blake. He is not the only commitment, because Bryce Deas commits today. Athlete out of Baltimore, 6'1", 205. And it sounds like he came in and camped this weekend, had a good camp, and then had a private workout with your guy, DJ Durkin. And DJ told him, I don't know where I'm going to put you yet, but based off of what we've seen at the camp and what we've seen at the workout, I got to have you on my roster, kid, and I'll figure out what to do with it. I know you like that, Blake, because you love DJ.
Yeah, first thing is I love what the kid had to say. It sticks out to me because you keep hearing the same thing from these kids. And he said, I got to Auburn. I was only there for 2 days, but I felt the energy. I felt it. It was different. It was different from other places that I've been. I went to this camp and I said, hey, if Auburn was to offer right now, I would commit. Guess what? Dustin told you the private workout. Hey, DJ said, hey, gotta have you. Bang. He said, guess what, coach? I'm committed. It's different over there. DJ Durkin, look, Bryce is an athlete, all right, but he can play. He's that mix between that hard hitting safety that can come down and play the run, man. And he's that linebacker right there. You know, he can also hang in coverage, all that. Like he's a freak. He's a freak, and he's not going to be a 3-star for long. All right, he's not. It's not going to happen. He'll bump up to a 4, probably a high 4-star by the end of it. But this is a guy that he will hit you. He will pop you. He's quick. He's got a nose for the football. And I think that's what DJ Durkin, I think that's what he wants, man. I think he wants dudes that are wanting to hit and get to the football, play with a lot of tenacity, and get after it. And he's a dude, man. Like DJ, the way that he can look at talent, Dustin, and that group, that linebacker group, I know that's one that you're really high on this year. You've got a lot of praise for it. And that's the reason why, because I think we got a guy. And you can bring up all the off the field stuff that you want to, and you can sit in there and talk about Hugh Freeze this and Hugh Freeze that, and DJ Durkin got hired and all this stuff. Which it's time to talk about ball. All right, it's time to talk about what's going on the field. We're almost to July now. What these cats are doing in recruiting, it's nasty, Dustin. I like Bryce. I think he's a heck of a player.
Yeah, and I see some of y'all in the comments mentioning that he is the teammate of Blake Woodby, who we think is going to join Auburn's class very, very soon. And our members know that we were kind of debating yesterday on which one would pop first. And I kind of said, hey, I think it might be Deas first, but Woodby won't be far behind. And then this morning, Blake kind of let everybody know, hey, today is going to be a good day. You might want to be on the lookout. So we say that to say, again, if you are a member that's not in that group chat, you need to get in there, because this week, me and Blake been working the phones and working the DMs. We've been pumping in the information for everybody, and we know that the members love that. And we will continue to do that for you guys. And yeah, I tried to look up some of his film. I was only able to find his sophomore tape, and it was like 2 minutes long. And he was playing like some corner, some safety. And then the article I read when he had initially committed, I believe it was a Cole Pinkson article. He said that he had seen him playing on some edge, right? So I just wasn't really sure. So it kind of seems like he's all over the place. So I need to go and try to find his junior film and take a look at that. So we'll definitely do that. We'll definitely get it out to you members. But I'm excited, Blake. And, I think that you're going to end up getting a package deal. And we talk about casting a wide net. You're going up to Baltimore. It's definitely interesting. It's just not a place that Auburn normally recruits from. The last person I remember coming from Maryland was Ben Tate, right?
Ben Tate. What a dog. What a dog.
He was for sure. He was for sure, man. And we'll get to some of you guys' comments, and then we will get on to the next segment. Some of y'all got some recruiting comments. Let's see. Daniel asked, is this the best O-line class we've had in a while? Daniel, we're getting on the territory of it being the best offensive line class Auburn's ever signed out of high school, brother. I'd have to go back and look, but I can't imagine there's one that's much more loaded than this one. And you land one or two more of these guys that we're in the running for, and for sure. And Brett says Jacoby Ward may be our next lineman commit. Definitely sounding like that's trending a certain way for us. And it sounds like it's something that going to end up good for Auburn. And then Daniel, you get Jacoby Ward in there. Yeah, buddy, you're looking at one of the best. And then Auburn Dad says we are trying to get the tight end from Cali too. Yeah, he came back for his second visit this week as well. So. We know we got the one tight end committed already in Ryan G, and now they're trying to get, because Hollis Davidson decommitted, so they're trying to get one more in there. So yeah, they're going to go out there, they're going to find talent, and I think that it kind of speaks to Will Redmond It's being able to do evaluations, go out and find guys all over the place. It speaks to on to victory for however much longer that is relevant. And then just the whole organization, man. It's the way college football is kind of built right now. Everybody has to have everything kind of in order. Everybody's got to be working on the same page. Something that Auburn has just not had in a long time. And when you're pulling in guys like this, when you're having recruiting weekends like this, I mean, because look, not only do you have guys committing coming out of these visits, but what do they say when they leave? Blake just talked about it. They're all saying the same thing. They're like, whoa, that was it, bro. That was it. And yes, there is kind of this thing where prospects, they always kind of talk good about visits, but they did in our last coach. I'm sorry.
Yep.
They were straight up coming out going, that wasn't a good visit. I didn't really enjoy that, or it was cool. They were calling him Haskins. Like they didn't even know his name coming out of OVs. So it's night and day, bro. It's just night and day. You put it together on the field this year. You look like you're going in the right direction. I believe you're definitely going to probably get a top 5 class if you do that. But everybody that comes out, bro. Caleb Cunningham comes out and he says, hey, you're my number 1. Everybody that leaves says this right here is where it's at, man. This is really, really going in the right direction. They all talk about, I noticed like with offensive linemen, they go off with the current offensive lineman on the team. And they talk about how close-knit that group is.
Yep.
And then the receivers like Cunningham visit. And they talk about, man, Bryce, Perry, all these guys, Cam, they're all so close. They're all tight-knit. They're all working. They all want to be at Auburn. That, to me, more than anything that's come out of Hugh Freeze's mouth or, national media, local media, anything, just hearing that lets me know that things behind closed doors are headed in the right direction. Because it's Blake, some of the stuff that we hear sounds night and day from what it was last year as far as that kind of thing. And if we are on the right track, that kind of way, if everybody is actually on the same page, if the players now, I just talked about the guy, the staff off the field, but if the players are lock in step, if they're actually believing what the coaches are preaching, they want to show up in that field on Saturday and make a difference and actually putting that AU on the helmet serious. This team could be dangerous. The way the schedule sets up, you could easily start off 5-0 and you could mess around and win 8 games, 9 games, and then sign a top 6, top 5 class and really kind of be knocking on the door for college football, man. It would be, I think we're close, dude. I think we're close, Blake. Like you mentioned, we're going to be in these tight games. We were in them last year. You had Georgia, you had Bama. If you close those out, if you just win one of those games, if you close one of those games out and you actually show up versus New Mexico State, how much difference does it look, dude?
Extremely different. Like it's not even close,
right? Just don't think we're that far off.
Well, and you gotta. All right, so this is how I kind of look at it is when I put roster to roster, I think Auburn's roster going into this year is clearly better. I think your schedule is a little bit easier. You don't have to go all the way out west to Cal and all of that. You get Oklahoma at home. I think that's big for Auburn. Yeah, you got to go to Athens, you got to go to Como, and you got to go to Bryant-Denny. But if we can somehow sneak one of those, I think we're cooking. And like Dustin said, then you're gonna turn the heads of all these high school kids, and I mean, people are gonna want to flock to Auburn. That's another big thing that a lot of the kids say is it's not just about football. When they go on their visit, they actually go out into the town and they're amazed. They're just like, look, this place is different. It's just the family feel. And I think once the football team starts, putting it together on the field, it could turn into what we used to be, what me and Dustin have come on here and talked about how we want to get back to, where, going 9-3, we kind of look around and we're like, all right, it was 9-3, but hey, there was some moments in there. That's what we want to get back to. So the future's bright. Hugh and the staff, they're doing it. And just hearing these kids just bring praise to Auburn, I think that is what we've really tried to get out of, man. We were in that dark hole. And recruiting wasn't even fun to pay attention to under the last head coach. So it's back fun again. Now we just got to put it in the win column.
Yeah, for sure. Auburn Dad says Will Redmond is an unsung hero at the moment. Absolutely. Every college team is going to have to get them a Will Redmond at some point in time. It's coming sooner than later for all these college programs. And Auburn, I think Q did a good job here, kind of getting ahead of the curve, getting a guy in. You got to get him from LSU. He did a great job of building LSU back up in that short time. That coaching change they had, things were kind of wonky over there. And Hugh mentioned it when he brought Will Redmond in. He said it's just as much about off the field with Will as it is on the field. He says, I trust Will's evaluations character-wise too. Is he going to fit what we're trying to do off the field just as much as I trust Will getting guys that can fit the system on the field? And I just think we're going to see that play out over time. I really do. Devin says, I absolutely love all the positive energy coming out of Auburn football right now. I don't know if I've ever experienced that. It's been a while. I would say the end of 2017, the regular season was a good time. That quickly went south, but there for a little bit we were vibing. Well, this is what happens when you have these kind of recruiting wins, Devin. I mean, I think everybody kind of knows what Broderick Shull is. You look at the 19th ranked player in the country, one of the top offensive tackles, a position that Auburn has struggled so mightily to recruit, and you bring him in, and we all know what we did last year. Cam Coleman's we see all those guys are actually on campus. You see Cam Coleman balling at A-Day, and it's like, all right, we're bringing guys in. It's starting to turn around. You know, we just got to put that final piece together and actually win the games. But this is what bringing in top talent does, Devin. This is what it does. It gets everybody excited, and it's because Auburn fans knows what it takes to win. We're not new to this. We remember what it looks like. We knew that day versus Northwestern, that Outback Bowl, when they said, hey, Cam Newton's coming. We said, oh, boy, because we know what Cam Newton is. We know that's a dog, and then the hype starts to get riled up, and then you go to A-Day, and there's 80,000 people, and it's like, whoa. I think the Auburn fan base is a little gassed up, and Cam throws one pass on a rope, and they sit him back down. Yeah, Devin, you're bringing in dogs. We know at Auburn, we know what was on the 04 team. They all got drafted. We know how good all those guys were. We know what it takes to win. We're starting to get those kind of guys back on the plains. So it's definitely something to be excited about. But, Blake, a guy that we're going to need to have a big year this year on the pass rush is our guy, Jalen McLeod. And we saw this the other day, came up on you got me. Came up on Jalen McLeod. So this is from Pro Football Focus. They said this is Jalen McLeod since 2002 with the 88. There we go, baby. 88.2 Pro Football Focus grade, which is very solid. 72 QB pressures, 18% pass rush win rate, 91.1 pass rush grade, which is very solid, and then 28 run stops, which is pretty impressive for a guy that's viewed as a pass rusher. But when me and Blake, we sent this to each other, we kind of said, hey, this feels like something that is a big key for the Auburn defense this year. If Jalen McLeod can give us 12 healthy games, Blake, Auburn defense can be dangerous, right?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is health. He's got to stay on the field because you saw a player grow last year. In my eyes, I felt like every game when he was healthy, he was out there. I felt like he got better. And look, he's got a year under his belt in this conference. He's going to be asked to do a lot, but I also think there's some talent behind him that might give him a chance to be really, really good this year. Like the gas tank isn't going to be on E, you know. So I think Jalen's set for a big year. I think he's going to be a team leader. I think he's going to be a guy that these young cats look at and say, hey, lead us, show us the way, show us how you do things. And that's why I'm excited about Jalen McLeod this year. Also, getting to work with Aldridge after he slides down to the edge to coach there. I think that's just going to be a nasty combo there. And look, Jalen, if he stays on the field and if Auburn stays healthy, I'm really not worried about the defense, and I'm not saying that they're going to be perfect all the time. I know they're going to have their hiccups. They're going to make mistakes and blow coverages and all that good stuff. Every defense does it, but I think there's some real deal talent on this defense, and if this D line can come out and grow together and gel together, I'm not worried about the back end. I'm not. I know there's some young ones back there, and there's some new faces and all that stuff. I'm just not. But if that D line can get it right, I think this Auburn D could be special, Dustin.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, man. I'm really excited about Josh Aldridge kind of getting in there, working with those edges. The real quick recruiting nugget. Hey, we're crystal balled for 2 of the top 3 edge rushers in the 2026 class. Who is recruiting in the edge position right now? Oh, it's Josh Aldridge, the same guy that pulled in the best linebacker class that Auburn's ever, or I don't say ever, but seen in a long time. This guy can just recruit, man. He's just a dog on the trail, and I think we saw him get every bit out of the linebacker core last year. So I think he proved to us he's a coach on the field. Look at the jump Asante made. You got every ounce of talent out of Larry Nixon that he had. So I'm excited for it, man. And then the system change. And, you know, we both agree that Ron Roberts did a pretty good job last year, but there was pressure coming from a lot of different places. That's just his scheme to kind of see Jalen McLeod in this DJ Durkin system. I'm excited for that, man. I'm excited to see just him kind of really get in that traditional position off the edge and just wreak havoc and make things happen. But this is going to be the big question for him. You know, it's an old saying, the best ability is availability. I need you out there. I need you out there. And if you have hey, Carlton Davis, you know, that's one of my favorite players of all time. You know why Tampa let him go to Detroit? It wasn't because he's not playing well, because he's playing 10 games a year. Yep. You got signed to $18 million contract, buddy. I can't justify this. And our boy Jamel Dean, they told him that. They've told Jamel Dean publicly this year, Jamel, you're a good player, one of the better DBs in the league. If you play 9 games this season, you're out of here. Yep. You got to be able to be on the field. At some point, that does become an attribute for you. And so that's kind of going to be the next step for Jalen, because I think that in the run game, he's dangerous. Yep. And I think that if he stays healthy, I think he's going to get 10 sacks at least. I'm not predicting like 12, 13, but I can definitely see him at that 9.5, 10 sack range by the end of it. And then, kind of, a lot of tackles for loss, getting in there and just making things happen all over the place. And another point of this, Blake, is it's got to bridge the gap. I think we got talent in the edge room, right? Yep. But those guys are young, man. A lot of those guys are young. They're either redshirt freshmen or true freshmen. Like, I think Joe Phillips is going to be a dog, but he's coming from 2A ball in Alabama where he had to play. He literally played quarterback. Look at Joe Phillips's build, okay? He had to play quarterback for his high school last year because he was the only athlete they had. So it was snap you in the ball, and he was just trying to figure it out. And then they'd get down to the goal line, and they would put Joseph Phillips at tight end and then bring in somebody else and tell him to throw it up to Joe. So I'm just saying all that to say, like, it's going to take some of these kids some time to kind of get ready to play SEC football. And we're going to need Jalen to be able to bridge that gap so we can get to them, because they're dogs, but they're puppies. Blake, you said all the time, they're puppies, man.
Puppies. Guys, put it on a shirt, man. Put it on a shirt.
Yeah, but them puppies gonna grow to be dogs now.
That's
them puppies are gonna grow to be dogs. And I think that DJ Durkin is gonna really be able to kind of bring the best out of Jalen McLeod. I agree with your point on Josh Aldridge doing that as well. And I just think it's gonna be a big year, man. Stay healthy, Jalen. You stay healthy. Yeah, we're gonna have a nice season, man. One more thing that came out, Blake. We got some time to get to it, so I think we should. These schedules, bro. And I didn't make this graphic. Okay. This is off the Auburn Twitter. So I did give the up there, Auburn football. Y'all see my graphics. Y'all know I couldn't make something like this, but Blake, just kind of looking at this, man, you got the times already set for the first 3. And we kind of found this out last week. I believe it was, you got 6:30 for Alabama A&M. You got the 2:30 with the Cow. And then you got 6:30 with the New Mexico Lobos. And then you get the flex for Arkansas. Afternoon, Oklahoma. I've got some thoughts on that. Flex, Georgia. Early game versus Mizzou. Night game at Kentucky. Early versus Vanderbilt. Early versus ULM. And then our last two were A&M at home and the flex at Alabama. Blake, just your initial thoughts when you saw this today.
Dog water. Trash. Unacceptable. BS. Doesn't sit well with me. We won a night game, a big-time night game in Jordan-Hare, not Arkansas and A&M again. Terrible. Awful. Just piss poor, to be honest. Like, I'll be honest with you, I'm pissed off. I'm just not, like, New Mexico, that's, you're going to give us New Mexico.
Prime time, baby.
It's 6:30. Y'all, put New Mexico at 11, all right? And give us Oklahoma. Get Georgia and Alabama at 2:30. Let them play at 2:30 in the middle of the day, and let Auburn and Oklahoma battle it out at night. I mean, but I get it though, because people are saying, oh, well, they can both play, and I get it. Like me and Dustin talked about earlier, look, there's a money side to it. They're not going to put two teams on at the same time like that with that caliber of matchup. It's just not going to happen. That takes away from the TV ratings. That takes away from their ads, their sponsors, and all of that good stuff for ESPN to make their money. It's just BS, man. It feels like we always got to play at 2:30. Oklahoma, it is going to be blistering hot, humid as hell, and I'm okay with it, but I just feel like it's Oklahoma's first trip to Jordan-Hare in the SEC. Put it at night. Like, it's two programs that have some history too.
Right.
Like, there's 04 hanging there. All right. We already don't like you because, damn it, you didn't deserve it. All right. You didn't deserve to go. And then that Sugar Bowl. All right. Don't you want to rant and rave about how you waxed us in that Sugar Bowl, but we didn't even really need to be there. Sean White's arm is still in 3 pieces. All right. Like, it's just, it wasn't a good night. So quit beating your chest over that. And then, man, the one that sticks out to me that I do like is we're playing Mizzou early on the road. I think that's huge. We're not having to deal with going to Missouri and having to sit in a hotel all day. I do like that one. I do not like playing Kentucky at night.
Tough.
Yeah. Vanderbilt. We should handle business. I don't care about Piego or PA, whatever his name is. And Texas A&M, a flex. Like, we played Texas A&M at night with the Cadillac game and all that. Give us something else. It sucks. It sucks. It's not fun. It's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's like you have to. I'm looking at it. I'm like, all right, well, I guess if I want to hit a primetime game, if I want to be in Jordan-Hare at night, I need to hit New Mexico maybe, or hope that Arkansas gets there. It's just
you got Alabama A&M.
Yeah, Alabama A&M. That's the first game. It's just, and I'm with you on the Oklahoma. And see, I said this on Twitter when I saw it today. I said, hey, this just sucks. Like, Oklahoma feels like it should be a night game. And I had all kind of people in the comments saying, well, Georgia and Alabama play that day. And I hear y'all, man. I hear you. And I was aware of that when I sent the tweet out. I actually looked at the schedule before I hit send on the tweet to see what the games were that day. Guess what? That doesn't change my opinion one damn bit. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, Blake, but is there only one channel that plays games at night? No. Usually I flip through 5-6 games if we're not a primetime game. Why could you not have Georgia, Bama on ABC and then Auburn, Oklahoma on ESPN or ESPN2? What the hell is SEC Network sitting there for? Like, so don't give me that. I don't want to hear that at all. Like, and I see you, Brad. I agree with you. You know that I take this stance a lot. I saw where Brad says, I thought I had you started, buddy, where he said Auburn's got to win more games if they want to have more night games. But my thing is, buddy, I'm not on here saying that Auburn should have all primetime games. I'm saying trade out this A&M one right here. Like Blake said, we just had them for Oklahoma. And I would agree, if we were Mississippi State or somebody like that. But look, Kentucky's getting Auburn at night. That's a pretty big-time matchup for Kentucky right there. Why do we have to play the Tulanes and the New Mexicos and the Western Kentuckys at 6:30 just so we can use our light show? It sucks, man. Jordan-Hare Stadium is still one of the top 10 atmospheres in the country. There was no way. I don't care how bad Auburn is. We all believe Auburn's going to be 4-0 coming into that game. If we're 4-0 and Oklahoma's 4-0, we know that stadium's going to be up for grabs, bro. The atmosphere is going to be through the freaking roof. You got to put that on primetime, in my opinion. You just have to. But nope, CBS, no CBS. If Auburn's playing a big game at home, baby, Penn State, 2:30. Alabama for the last 15 years, 2:30. Georgia, 2:30. No, Auburn. They're going to have SEC media days, and they're going to ask, what's the toughest place to play? What happens every year? Half the people answer Auburn.
Yep.
But we can't get one big-time game at home at night. It sucks. But, Brad, to your point, man, maybe if we come out this year and go 9-3, next year they'll say, hey, we got to respect you and throw you on that thing. So, but ultimately, man, I still think we should just have something better than this.
I would have taken Cal at night. That's kind of my argument is I would have taken Cal at night. Just give us a bone. Like we just want something. And I don't like you're going to give me Arkansas. I mean, Bobby Harley is riding in. I just that don't excite me. It don't excite me. I mean, I don't know, man. It was a bummer when I saw it. I immediately put it in the group and was like, "Did you see this?" Because look, and the Oklahoma is still in September. The game's gonna end before it even gets dark. Like right. So. Oh man, it's aggravating. We want to get back to Jordan-Hare at night. That swag surfing, the atmosphere. I still see the clips on TikTok of the team, the lights and everything, and them counting it down and doing their jobs there and all that. That's electric. That stadium is insane. I want to feel that again. So maybe Brad's right. We do have to win some games, and we got to beat some quality opponents to get those matchups. But I would have taken Cal at night. Give me something. Give me something besides Arkansas and A&M.
Yeah, and then, like I said, it just seems like we have to schedule these group of 5 schools now at night because that's the only way that we can really get that experience. So it would be nice to get some of those. Going to get to some of you guys' comments, man, before we get out of here. Devin points out that Ole Miss does not get a night game at home either. If I was a Rebels fan or Black Bears or Land Sharks or whatever the hell they are, I would be super pissed about this. I think they've, I haven't looked at their schedule. I don't have it off the top of my head. I think they've earned this, though.
One thing I'll say about Ole Miss, they can't get mad about no night game because that little 30,000 seat stadium they got, all right? That little 30,000 seat stadium they got, it don't get loud. It's not intimidating. And the only reason people go to Ole Miss is to go to the Grove, all right? That's it. It's actually a really nice campus, all right? It's a really nice campus. But that football stadium is below average, all right? But Lane Kiffin, keep talking on Twitter.
To your point, Blake, no Auburn head coach has ever had to come out and beg us to come to a game. But I did see Ole Miss do that last year in the middle of a really good season. To Smooth it says Joe Phillips was a 4A. Okay, I thought it was in 2A, but hey, he wasn't. I've watched his tape a lot, and there wasn't a lot of good competition he was playing up against, and he didn't have a whole lot of help on his team. So my point remains. Auburn Dad asked, "What does flex mean?" It just means that they can do what they want with it. It could be afternoon, it could be night. They're going to kind of see how records play out, and then so like if both teams have decent records, and they'll bump it up to night, that kind of thing.
That's the way they. That's the way they do it in the NFL. So they kind of leave it in limbo. And then if you get the Chiefs and the Jets, and they're both 7-1, they're going to throw that on Sunday. They're going to flex it to what is it, 325 on Sunday? Yeah. America's game or whatever. I think that's what it's called.
It'll be the only game on that slot on national TV. Yeah. And the NFL is actually getting sued for their Sunday ticket package and all that kind of stuff. Kind of a shit show over there. We just want to watch ball, man. That's all we want to do. Miss Crotchfield, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate you still being in here supporting the show. Yeah. She says, don't forget to like the show, keeping it real all the time. We appreciate that, Miss Angela. And Jacob says, yeah, but the TV ratings would be down because Bama GA, a night game, was never going to happen that week. I hear you, Jacob, and I agree with you. But to Miss Angela's point, do I got to be realistic all the time? Can I just be mad? Can I just be a mad Auburn fan on this one? I wanted Oklahoma at night, Jacob. That's what I wanted. I don't give a damn about logic anywhere else, okay?
But it all comes down to money. That's it.
For sure.
When everybody realizes that these games, they come down to money. All right. Whatever game. Look, Mississippi State at Kentucky at night on SEC Network, they can play that. They can play that on SEC Network while Alabama and Georgia are playing on ABC because they know it doesn't hold the same weight. It don't hold the same weight as Auburn and Oklahoma. It's just not. You can't take top 15 programs of all time and put it at the same time as Alabama and Georgia. And I think that's just kind of where we got shafted. Is it sucks, but Alabama and Georgia is going to get the nod every time.
Yeah, well, that's where Brad's point comes into play. We got to start demanding that kind of respect. There's only one way to do that. Smoothest also adds, we need linebacker Miles Johnson from T.R. Miller. Bruton stand up. Bama commit just took OV to Florida. Really like Roberts. Feel like Roberts would have made him a priority if he stays. I can see why you think that his game kind of fits it. I've seen Miles Johnson play a couple times. Really solid player, and I would never be mad to see a Bruton boy join the class, brother. Jamie says, can y'all explain how Malik Autry is 5 stars and number 29 overall player on 247, then outside the top 200 on other sites? Either way, I hope we can hold on to this kid. 6'6", 320, Lord Almighty. Yeah, bro. Malik Autry is an absolute dog, and I would just say that the people over at 247 have better eyes than everybody else on Malik. I don't really know what to say, bro. The kid is an absolute baller, super explosive from the defensive tackle position. And yeah, for 6'6", 320, his athleticism at that D tackle is unreal. And I do think that we hold on to him, Jamie. I know the USC mod said that Malik was going to be one of 5 or 6 guys to flip to USC this week. And I got news for you. I don't know nothing about what goes on at USC. They're not flipping 5 or 6 guys like that cat said. And let's just say that Malik does go. I know everyone's worried because he takes his visits and he says nice things every time he goes somewhere else. Push comes to shove, Malik Autry's not going from Opelika, Alabama to go play at USC. Hugh Freeze isn't going to allow that to happen. In the same way that Hugh Freeze didn't let Cam Coleman leave Phoenix City and go anywhere else, despite all the stuff that happened before then. I'm just really starting to feel that way. That's why I'm so high on Caleb Cunningham, bro. I just look at it and go, Hugh Freeze is not letting a 5-star wide receiver from Mississippi that looked him in the face and said, y'all are my leader. He's not going to lose that lead. When it comes time, he's earned this faith, Blake. Hugh Freeze has earned our faith at this point with these kind of recruitments.
That's a fact. And I also think where I would kind of get worried with Malik is if he didn't retweet or quote tweet when Auburn got a commitment and like, welcome to the fam. Like, hey dog, like glad to have you. All right, if he wasn't doing those things, I would get a little worried. But every time somebody commits, like Malik's there, he's like, welcome to Auburn, man. Like, welcome home. Glad to have you. All this stuff. I don't see it. I don't see him leaving Auburn. I don't.
Mel says, what the hell, youngsters? 2:30 is prime time in college football. Not when you do it every time, man. Not when you've had to play all your big games, it seems like, or 95% of them. Nah, we like Jordan-Hare Stadium under the lights, big dog. I do anyway.
Like players we all know like SEC, CBS, 2:30 was it was the primetime game. It was the Saturday special. But players they didn't like it. Like kids want to play at night. They want to play under the lights.
Yeah.
They don't want to play at 2:30. I think the only time you really don't want to play at night is if you got to go on the road. Like Auburn didn't want to play at night at Cal because of the time change. You got to sit around all day. You get stiff. You don't really know what to do. All that stuff. But when you're on your own soil, you want to play at night under the lights in front of your fans because hey, guess what? Those fans, they got all day. They got all day to sit around and get a little toasted. And look down there in Death Valley. Them folks have a blast. Ask an LSU player, would they rather play at 2:30 during the day or would they rather play at 6:30 at night? I already know the answer.
Yeah, just imagine that Iron Bowl when we finally get it at night, what that's going to be like.
Yeah.
It's gonna be electric, man. It's gonna be something that it's gonna be something different that we haven't got to feel in a long time. I believe the last night Iron Bowl that we had at home was 2007. Brad Lester bust off the run to seal the deal. It was Saban's first year, so that's either 06 or 07, right?
07, yeah.
Yeah, yep. That's too long. Too damn long, man. But before we get out of here, guys, good crowd in here tonight. Please hit that like button. We're knocking on the door at 2,000 subs. Please subscribe to the channel. Yeah. And these memberships have been popping lately. We've been pumping out good content. I just did the film breakdown today for Broderick Shull. But if you are not a part of that and you're interested, Blake's going to tell you what you can get and how you can become a part of it.
Yes, Dustin is right. These memberships have been popping. We enjoy each and every one of you. $3.99 a month, JV Squad. For those of you listening on audio, members only live chat, member shout outs, priority reply to comments, especially if you drop a gifted sub or super chat or anything like that. You will be the first that we get to, early access to videos, all that good stuff. $5.99 a month, Varsity Squad, recruiting update videos. Dustin has been hammering them home. We'll drop one tomorrow. Yeah, probably tomorrow. I'll set it up for tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, probably sometime. Game day group chat, been electric. Everybody in the game day group chat has been absolutely awesome. We love it. Gameplay with you. Dustin actually dropped a banger of a video on the War Report gaming channel. Go over there and subscribe to that. If you're into Xbox, PlayStation, EA Sports, College Football 25, that is coming out. He had a great video where he told you a little bit about the game, what to expect coming up, and all of that good stuff. And look, the Uptempo podcast is growing. We want to get to 2K subs before the season. And we appreciate each and every one of you who join this broadcast and get in this live chat, and you're with us every week. You're on Twitter with us. You interact. It means the world to us. It really does. Like we talk about it throughout the day. We just say, hey, like we have a following, and it's pretty cool to talk about Auburn because we care about Auburn just like you care about Auburn. We want to see Auburn win. I'll tell you this, watching Auburn win a golf national championship, you can ask my wife. She's right in the other room in there. I was absolutely electric. Like I was jumping up and down with Mr. J.M. Butler and having a blast when he had ice in his veins. So I'm just like each and every one of you. I love Auburn with all my heart, and I know Dustin does as well. So we appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it does mean the world to us. Go ahead, man. Subscribe to the channel, like we said. Share this thing out on social media. Like Blake said, if you are into the gaming, go over there to the War Report Gaming channel. That video is definitely popping, talking about the Dynasty mode details, what that's going to look like. It's like 40 days till that game comes out, dude. It'll give us something to hold us over till the real football starts, bro. I cannot wait. Boy, I'm telling y'all right now, I Penn State, you get into business. Penn State's the first team that's getting to business. New Mexico State, you're getting to business. I'm turning that thing down on rookie mode, freshman mode, whatever it's going to be, and you're straight getting it, dude. Who else? Y'all let me know who else is going to get it. Maryland, you're getting it. Maryland, you're going to get it. I can only do what I can do. I can only control my little digital world, but I'm coming, bro. Revenge tour.
There's a couple that I want to go after the Mississippi schools just because of the traction that somehow they think they're better than us, and I just want to. Hey, if you're an Ole Miss fan and you see this, I'll give you the gamer tag. All right, gamer tag's Nate Chokes. All right, not Nate Oates, it's Nate Chokes. All right, that's the gamer tag. Hit me up. We'll play. Game's almost out. I'm ready. I'm ready.
I gotta tell you, dude. I'll be sitting there watching TV on the Xbox, and then you'll come online and just pops up onto my screen. Nate Chokes is logged in, and it hasn't got old yet. Also, man, if you're interested in merchandise, go over to the warreportshop.com. Get you one of those t-shirts. If you're listening on audio, leave a 5-star review. Tell everybody how much you love us. Again, share this thing out on social media. Send it to your friends in text. Continue to grow this podcast. Thank all of y'all for joining us, man. We got a special episode dropping later in the week. Our guy Phillip Dukes from On 3 is coming on. Just talk about some recruiting. And y'all know, man, Phillip Dukes is just killing the game right now. So we're super fired up for that. For our members, you got a couple more days to get those questions that you want us to ask in that game day group chat, and we will definitely get those into that episode for you. Love y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. Smash that like button on the way out. We'll catch you on the next one. War damn.
War damn Eagle, baby.